Welcome everyone. My name is Gayle and this is day 7, last day of our 7-day good morning yoga journey. So I hope you've been enjoying this so far, and today we're going to just play with our whole body, explore our whole body, going to bring some of the things we've learned in the last 6 days into this practice, and hopefully you're going to feel like really great by the end of this. So let's start by closing our eyes and just take a moment to clear our thoughts, empty our mind, settle into the breath, and really find that deep connection with the breath. Because the breath is life. In yoga, we call the breath prana. In Chinese medicine, we call the breath qi. But it's this idea that it's a life force energy invigorating us, and the more we can pay attention to it and move with the flow of our breath, the more graceful we'll be able to move, the more balance we'll feel in our bodies. So you can keep your eyes closed or you can open your eyes, and on your inhale, sweep your arms up. And on your exhale, twist from your waist and twist to your right, lowering the arms down. Inhale, lift up, find length through your spine, and exhale, softly twist to the other side. One more time each side. Inhale, lift up, reach nice and tall, and exhale, find your twist. Keep the neck long and lifted. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, twist. Inhale, back up to center. Hold your right wrist with your left hand and reach over to your left. Maybe turn your head to look up at the ceiling. Then come back to center, switch your hands, and stretch to the other side. One more time each side. Try and root down through the opposite hip. And switch wrists as you switch sides. Good. Come on back to center, and let's come onto our backs for a little core work. We'll start with bridge pose. So plant your feet in line with your hips. Let your shoulders and your back rest on the floor. And press into your feet. Lift the hips up. And spread the shoulders as you slowly roll your spine back down. Straighten your legs and straighten your arms over your head. Think of pulling your ribs to the floor, and we're going to create a little curve by lifting up your head and your shoulders and reaching out through your fingers and toes, creating what we call a hollow body. Try not to arch your back. And lower back down, bend your knees, bring your hands down, press into your feet, lift up, keep the legs strong, feel the glutes fire up, and relax through the shoulders, lowering down. Reach your arms over your head, straighten your legs. Think of relaxing or pressing your ribs toward the floor so your back is more or less flat on the floor. Keep that as you just slightly lift your head, your shoulders, your arms and your legs off the floor. And lower back down. Come back into a bridge pose. Lift up. Slowly lower down. Stretch out through your arms and legs and float them off the floor. Lower down, back into bridge pose, lift up. Lengthen through your spine as you round down, straighten arms and legs. Reach your feet and fingers and toes away from each other, and then just press, think of pressing your ribs down toward the floor and lift up. So there's still a little bit of space, but you don't want it to get too big, like too much arch in your back. And if this hurts your back, don't do it. Just maybe lift your legs up, or maybe interlace your hands behind the back of your head. If you can, think of curling down and kind of floating up. And come back with your knees bent. Bring your knees up and your feet up off the floor. Open your arms out to the side with the palms facing up. Squeeze your legs in towards each other. Let your shoulders stay relaxed on the floor. And we're going to twist about halfway to the right. So press your right leg up into your left leg. Pull your belly back. Think of extending through your tailbone, a posterior tilt. And then lower the hip back to the floor and roll over to the left. Same thing here. Lower about halfway across. Press the bottom leg up into the top leg. So don't let things drop. You're trying to keep a lift even as gravity is pulling you over. Then pull your right hip back to the earth and twist over to the right. We'll do this a couple more times. If you want more challenge, start to bring your heels further away from your hips or lower a little closer to the floor. Come back through center. Again, find that hover. Come back through center. And you could, if you wanted to, gradually make it a little bit harder, but it might already be enough. So last side. Good. Come back to center. Hold the back of your legs with your hands, and we'll use a little momentum to just gently rock back and forth. And you can play with a little pause. So when you pause, you're going to lift up through your spine, kind of flatten your low back. You can maybe reach your arms forward. And then when you round your spine, you're going to naturally roll back. And then lift up and lower down. Lift up. And now we'll come all the way up to standing at the front of your mat. Well, actually, you can face the side or however you want to face. I'm going to face toward the camera. And we're going to do some heel raises. So as you inhale, press into your big toe mound, reach your arms up, reach your heels up. And as you exhale, with control, slowly lower down. Remember the big toe mound rules. So press into that big toe mound, lift up, and softly float down. A couple more times. Press down to lift up, lengthening all the way from your toes to your fingertips, and slowly lower down, release. One more time. Press down, lift up. This time when we lower down, we're going to bend our knees and kind of imagine that you're scooping energy up from the earth. Interlace your fingers, rotate your palms, reach up, maybe gaze up, and lift your heels up again. And slowly release, lower the heels, bend the knees, scoop energy from the earth, pulling it up through your center, rotating at the wrists, pressing up, lifting up through your heels, and slowly lower down, release your arms to your sides. On your next inhale, sweep your arms toward the sky. And on your exhale, hinge at your hips. Place your hands down. Step back to your plank. Keep your belly strong and lifted and engaged. And you can always lower your knees to the floor. Think of keeping the shoulders lifted as you slowly lower all the way down. Curl up to your cobra. Pressing into your feet, reaching forward through your chest. And a little arc, maybe your gaze lifted halfway toward the sky. And lower back down. Tuck your toes. Press up and back to your down dog. Step the left foot in a little bit, sweep the right leg up. Bend your knee heel to hip, pull your knee forward. Step your foot forward, rise up, crescent lunge. Keep a lift of your chest as you bend your back knee, sink down, maybe tap the floor, lift up. You don't have to go all the way down. So just go down as far as you're comfortable, lifting and lowering. And then open up, warrior two. Rotate the back heel down, Gaze out over your fingertips. Keep an internal lift and reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. Come back through warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Parallel your feet and come into a forward fold. You can tent your fingers, so come up onto your fingertips. Let your head just dangle. And maybe come up halfway, so come out of the dangle and begin to shift your hips from side to side. Getting a nice stretch on the inner thigh. Let's come back to center. Bring your left hand to the center of your body and open up into a nice twist. And come on back down and twist to the other side. Lower your hand back down. Rotate your right foot forward, coming back up through warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Then come back up through warrior two. Sweep the back arm forward, lift the back heel up, coming back into crescent lunge. Open up through your heart. And lower your hands back down, step back to your down dog. And here you can bend your knees forward a little bit and press your heels back. Then step the right foot in a little bit, reach the left leg up. Hug your knee to your chest, step your foot all the way forward. Rise up, crescent lunge. Reach up through your heart and then bend the back knee. Maybe lower and touch, maybe lower part way. It's up to you. And open up warrior two. So be firm in your legs, firm in your intention. Reach up and back, reverse your warrior. Come back through warrior two, straighten your front leg, parallel your feet. Bring your fingertips to the floor. And just glide your hips gently from side to side. This time, come back to center. Pick your heels up, bring your heels in, bend your knees, and come into a wide-legged squat. And then we'll press into our feet, lift up through the heels, stretch up through your arms, and bend the elbows, bend the knees, sink back down. A couple more times. Press down to lift up, and lower down. Last one. Press down to lift up, lower down. Come back into your forward fold, open the heels open, rotate the left foot forward. Come on up, warrior two, reach back, reverse your warrior. Come back through warrior two, sweep the back arm forward and up, lift the back heel up, coming back to crescent lunge. And step back into your down dog. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Lift and spread your toes nice and wide. Bend your knees as much as you need to and come all the way up to stand. Gaze up at your hands. With your hands pressing together, lower your hands to your heart center. We'll play with a little balance pose, so a tree pose. So shift your weight into your left foot. Bring your right foot up, maybe grab your ankle, place your foot on your inner thigh. Squeeze your legs in towards each other and lengthen like your waist. So you're drawing the ribs in a little bit, reach your arms up. And just enjoy the sensation of being grounded and uplifted at the same time. We'll just hold here for a few more breaths. Nice and strong, steady. Then bring your hands together, slide your foot down your leg. Come back to stand, close your eyes. Let your body just sway a little bit. And we'll do tree pose on the other side. So rooting down through your right leg, bring your left leg up, bring your leg to your inner thigh. Squeeze your legs towards each other and rise up. Find that extra length, maintaining your steadiness. Breathe here, in and out through your nose. Think of feeling the essence of that tree energy. And bring your palms together. Slowly lower your arms and legs down, coming back to stand. Release your arms and just bend your knees and just let everything kind of be like ragdoll. Nice and loose and relaxed. Let the shoulders relax, the knees relax. And bring your feet a little bit wider apart than your hips. We're just going to do a gentle swinging action. So think of tapping your kidneys. You're going to bend into your knees and then straighten your legs. And just be nice and soft and easy with your movement. Good, come back to center and heel toe your feet together and heel toe your feet apart. Heel toe your feet apart and together. So it's really important that we know how to move our feet and hold our balance and apart. And once more together. Maybe just a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Actually, come to hip distance apart and then sink your hips down, coming into chair pose, Utkatasana. So the hips sink down, arms reach up, ribs pull back. And maybe go a little bit deeper than what's comfortable. Keep some weight in your heels, so don't just bring all the weight forward into your toes, but keep some weight back in your heels. And we're going to continue sinking down and reaching up at the same time. So you can use your hands whenever you need to. Otherwise, just see how slowly you can lower all the way to the floor. So when you're on the floor, bring your left foot to the outside of your right hip and bring your right leg across. Interlace your fingers around your knee and stretch up nice and tall through your chest. On your inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale from your ribs, from the waist, twist over to your right. You can either hook your knee with your left hand, or you could bring your elbow to the inside. Don't force the twist, but think of like you're creating this spiral inside your body, an energetic spiral as well as a physical spiral. And then think of gazing over your right shoulder with your left eye. So really stretching the eyes, stretching your vision. Come on back through center and twist in the other direction. So this time looking over your left shoulder with your right eye. Come back to center. Take your left hand to the outside of your right foot. Stretch your foot forward and your arm back. So your right leg forward, your left arm back. Whoops, sorry. So right leg, yeah. Right arm back. I get all twisted up when I'm twisting. And come back to center. Now, this is a really fun move. You can either just uncross your legs and switch them, or you can lean to the side of your front leg. Lift your back knee up and just pivot on your feet, walking your hands around, and lower the bottom knee down, and lower your hips. Reach up nice and tall again, and from your ribs, from your waist, from your torso, find your twist. Keep the back of the neck extended and long. Maybe look over your left shoulder with your right eye. So you're really stretching your eyes off to the side. And come on back through center. Twist to the opposite side. Come on back through center. Hold your left foot with your right arm. Reach your other arm behind you. And come back to center. Let's slowly lower down onto our backs. Just roll down nice and slowly. Once your shoulders are on the floor, hug your knees into your chest. And just gently rock around on your back. Giving yourself a gentle massage. Should feel really good. Straighten your left leg on the floor and your right leg up in the air. Interlace your fingers on the back of your right leg and just lower your heel and lift it up again. So keep pressing out through your heel and lifting and lowering it. Coming into a hamstring stretch and releasing it. Finding that ebb and flow. Next time your leg is straight, take your left hand to the outside of your right foot or leg, wherever you can reach. Open your right arm out to the side. Slightly shift your hips to the right, and with control, start to bring your right leg all the way across to the left until the inside edge of your foot touches the floor. And relax here. Instead of forcing yourself into relaxation, like instead of forcing the right shoulder to the floor, visualize it slowly releasing toward the floor and just let the relaxation take you to where your body is meant to be right now. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your inner guidance. You're also welcome in this position to bend your left knee and grab hold of your left foot with your right hand. If that's something that you want to try or it's in your practice, it's kind of like an extra benefit if you want to try it, if you want to do it, if you want to add that in. We'll stay here a few more breaths. If you were holding your left foot, you can release it, let your left leg straighten. And now, instead of thinking of picking your right foot up to come back out of this twist, instead thinking of pulling your right hip back to the ground. So you're working from your torso. Let your leg float up. You can center your hips. Hold your foot or any part of your leg with both hands. And just play with the idea of bringing your leg a little closer in towards your chest. Not overdoing it, not forcing anything, but just exploring. And release your foot, let it slowly float all the way down. So you keep extending as you lower. Once your heel of your foot rests on the floor, just take a moment to notice whatever you might be feeling. however one side might feel different from the other side. And now bring the left leg up. Interlace your fingers on the back of your thigh and start to lower through the heel and lift up through the heel. Just going back and forth. Nice and slowly, mindfully, respecting your edges. And at the same time being curious, like, where's my edge? How far can I go before it just doesn't feel right anymore? And take your right hand to the outside of your left leg, wherever you can reach. Open your left arm out to the side and slowly bring your leg across your body, moving with control until you feel the inner edge of your left foot settle into the ground. And then focus on your breath and relaxing, letting go. If you'd like, you could bend your right knee, reach for your foot with your left hand, and hold here. I personally love this option, but it's not for everyone, and that's okay. And it's not for everyone every day. You know, every day is a little bit different. Whether we want to acknowledge that or not, or whether it could be really obvious that it's really different, or it could be like, oh, you know, I did the same old thing today, but when you really think about it, there's a lot of things that are different because we're always in change, we're always in flux. There are some things we can control and many, many, many things we cannot control. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. If you were holding your foot, release your foot. And think of bringing your left hip back to the floor to raise your leg up. Maybe center your hips. Hold your foot or your leg with both hands. Play with that little extra hamstring stretch. Release your leg. Let your leg slowly float down. Down, down to the ground. Boom, 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 boom. Once your heel is resting on the floor, just take a moment to just bring some little wiggles into your body. Reach your arms over your head. Cross your wrists this time and interlace your fingers and just reach your hands away from your head. Reach your toes away from your shoulders. And bend your elbows, bend your knees, bring your knees in by your ribs, coming into happy baby. Gently rock side to side. You can do little rocks or bigger rocks. You could rock all the way to the floor and back to the other side. Come on back to center. Release your feet. Cross the opposite wrist on top. Interlace your fingers. Reach through your whole torso. Relax the ribs down. And pull your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe even try and touch your chin to your knees. If that's possible for you, just play around with it, have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. And release your feet, release your arms out to the side. Let your feet flap open. Take a moment to notice if your back ribs are on the floor. And if they're not, Or if you want to do this anyway, bend your knees, lift your hips up slightly, tilt your tailbone towards your heels. So we're in a posterior tilt, and keep that length as you lower down. And again, straighten your legs, relax your whole body into Savasana. Gently, lovingly. So letting go means accepting not being in control, which to a certain extent, control is an illusion. We can control our thoughts, our minds. We can't control others. We can't control the weather. We can't control who else is driving on the road. I mean, there's a lot of things we can't control. It doesn't mean we can't live a life of our choice, live a life full of richness and adventure. It just means there's certain limitations, certain things we have to accept. And that's a lot of what Savasana is about. A deep, deep acceptance, letting go, and being with the flow of life. So I'll stay here with you for a few more breaths. And as always, you're welcome to stay longer in Savasana. Begin to bring a little movement into your fingers and toes, unless you want to stay in Savasana longer. Otherwise, if you're ready to come out of Savasana with me, just bring a little movement into your fingers and toes. Maybe shift your ribs from side to side. Maybe stretch your arms over your head. And bend your knees, gently roll to your side. Hugging your knees into your chest, your elbows towards your knees, letting your back round, and feeling a sense of being protected and safe, just like when you're in the womb. No worries. And slowly begin to roll and press your way up to a comfortable seat. Let your hips settle into the earth, like they're making a little indent, their own unique indent into the earth, connecting with that earth energy. And feel almost like a lift through the crown of your head. So you're lifting upward toward the sky just as much as you're rooting downward into the earth. Find the balance between firmness and softness, between the inhale and the exhale. Please bring your hands together in front of your heart. Namaste. So thank you for joining me for this practice today. I hope you went through this whole 7-day good morning yoga journey with me. And I hope that you continue to practice it, to share it with your friends. You can take one day out at a time. Sign up for my email list with a link in the description below for special events and inspiration for healthy living. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.